So, first thing you guys are going to want to do is install two tools, Rufus if you don't already have it, and the Proxmox ISO. Once you install Rufus, you select your USB drive, go in here, we're going to select Proxmox, okay, and then we're just going to hit start. Cool. Now we'll wait for that to be done and go from there. So now we created our OS install USB. I'm going to be using a Intel 520 series 180 gig SSD as my boot drive, and I have a WD Blue 4 terabyte SSD, which I will be using for my virtual machines. So let's get into it. Okay, so now I've started turning on my server. We are going to get into the settings. So essentially on this motherboard or this server model, I'm going to press F10, and that'll allow me to boot to where I can modify the drives on this beast. Okay, so now that that showed up, I'm going to go ahead and press F10 and enter the lifestyle controller. Just a quick note here, it does take a good bit of while, at least on the hardware I have, to boot into the lifestyle controller. These tend to boot slow, so that's why it takes so long. But yeah, it does a bunch of checks for the memory, like CPU and memory checks when it boots up, so that explains a little bit of it, I guess. Okay, so now that that finally booted, we're going to be setting this up. First thing you guys are going to do is go into, sorry it's loud because I have it kind of tuned when this thing's at idle on the Blue Yeti, but I don't have it tuned 100% properly, so when it ramps up in the background noise. But that's alright. So we're going to go to System Setup, Advanced Hardware Configuration, and then we're going to go Device Settings. Okay, and then integrated RAID controller. This is the one I'm currently using, so you have to hunt down what one your drives are plugged into. But I'm going to use this Prox H330 Mini. Cool. And the first thing I'm going to do is go and wipe all the virtual disks. Okay, so now that I'm loaded into this, I'm going to go under Configuration Management, Create Virtual Disk. RAID 0, virtual disk name is going to, I want to select physical disk. This is an SSD. This is going to be SATA interface. And I'm going to keep the sector size both. And I'm going to go ahead and select my first physical disk, which I will be using for my boot drive. After I check this, I'm going to hit Apply Changes. Okay. And I'm going to give this a name called boot. Alright, so we're going to say boot, or I'm just going to name it Proxmox OS. So Proxmox _OS. And I'm just going to make this all lowercase just because it might create a problem. I don't think it will. Alright, and then I'm going to create virtual disk. Creating a virtual disk, we want to completely remove everything from these disks. There's nothing on them, but just know that you're going to lose all this stuff when you go through this task. Okay, so this operation has been created successfully. So now I'm going to create another virtual disk, SATA. Keep that the same. Back. So I selected. Okay. Actually, I need to select physical disk, SATA. Keep that at both. Oh shoot, I done screwed up. I gotta go back into it and create, so I'm gonna create a virtual disk. Select. Oh, okay. I had to select SSD and then SATA, so then it would let me select physical disk. Apply changes. Okay. And then we're gonna go into here, and we're gonna call this Proxmox under storage. have the SATA, SSD, we check this, apply, cool. So now we can go ahead and hit create virtual disk, confirm, yes. Okay, so that operation. Why was I not able to create the virtual disk? Interesting. Configuration management. Here we go. Virtual disk management. Oh, it's showing here. It already created. I tried to create it twice. Okay. Go. Alright, so now we created the virtual disk. We are going to boot to the flash drive now and install Proxmox. Let's go. Finish. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and hit exit and reboot. Okay, so now we are going to boot to the flash drive. So we want to go F11. Okay, so now the Proxmox setup page has came up. We're going to want to do install Proxmox via the terminal user interface. And there's also advanced options on all these, but I want to do the terminal, so but we're going to close out of the advanced options. So escape. Terminal UI is what we want to use. Alright. Now we shall go through the steps. Of course, we're going to agree. So we can, my target hard disk came up first, which is my 167 gig versus 180 gig drive. So we're going to hit yes. And you can see both of them are here, but we're going to select the first one because we want to use the 180 gig for the OS, and then we're using a 4 terabyte for virtual machine storage. Okay. Yep. And you set yourself up a root password, and I don't really need an administrative email because I don't have an email server, but we'll go ahead and do that. So let's do this. Oh, shoot. So admin at cool. So we are going to set this up. I'm going to use, I guess we'll go through setting up the VLAN for this in a minute, but I'm going to do for the host name, my network settings. So that's the management interface. So we're going to do Proxmox -1 -0, actually it's better, .jake builds it.com. Shoot. Oh, that was host name. I'm just blind. Yeah, so Proxmox -C1 -0 dot Jake builds it.com. This is going to be 10.0 dot 10 dot 250. And we'll just do dot 20. We'll do 20 to 30 through the Proxmox host on the management port. Default gateway is going to be 10.0.10.1. DNS 10.0.1.1, I believe is what I have that set up to. And next. X4 dev STA, which is the device that is at. Got the FQD in there. We're going to click install. And now Proxmox is installed. That easy. That's great. And now we'll be able to use these servers to their full potential after I install another one. Existing PV. Do I want to rename the backed PV? Oh yeah, that's fine. So it's creating LVMs for the Proxmox install. That's cool that it uses LVM. Makes it a lot easier to extend by just plugging in another disk, especially that we're at the hardware level and not the virtual level. So cool. When that's done, I will be back. Okay, so after that's done, everything's going to reboot, and I'm going to unplug my USB drive, and it's going to boot straight into Proxmox, theoretically. Okay, sick. So now that this is booted, we got to do some networking to be able to access the Web UI. So let's get into it, and being able to SSH to it, which are two important things. Because without that, then everything we're doing is kind of useless here. Okay, cool. Now that I'm in my switch, I'm going to do enable sh run. So you can see all these internet interfaces are down. What we want to do is VLAN. We want to set up another VLAN here so that we can access everything. So, so you can see I'm using, currently the switch is plugged into VLAN 2 or VLAN 10, and I have, so this is port 2 on my switch where it's plugged into, but we need to fix that. So we want to create a new VLAN, interface. Yeah, so we want to create a new VLAN. So we're going to do config t int. Now we're going to do VLAN 30, and then we're going to call this name server, if I can spell server right. Okay, so we set this name to server. We're going to do exit, and then we're going to do int VLAN 30. IP address is going to be 10.0.30.20/24. Awesome. Oh, .1/24. Okay, cool. So now we have we created our VLAN 30, but I believe I just created it with the wrong IP because it needs to be 10, and I'm probably going to reorganize my whole network hierarchy here eventually. Make all the IP addresses to their individual VLANs in the third octet, but I'm not doing that now, but that's going to be the way I kind of move forward with this. So now I added IP add, we added VLAN 30. Cool. So I'm going to do an exit here. Okay. And then I'm going to do int Ethernet to switch port access VLAN 30. Cool. And now we should see if I can ping 10.0.30 or 10.0.10.1, which is the gateway. I can't. Oh. So let's try to do this from our local client. So we're going to do ping 10.0.30 or 10.0.10.1, and I can't. But did I set up any access control list on the VLANs? No. Oh. I'm going to do int VLAN 30 IP helper 10.0.10.1. Oh no, .1.1. And that's just for DHCP. Okay, so set up the IP helper. We didn't set up a DHCP server or configure VLAN 30 at all yet. So that is okay. And this ends in .10. Well, let's do a show run. Okay. So we want to do int VLAN 30. Okay, hit the helper, have the IP'd. Let's make sure switch port access VLAN 30. So I have Ethernet 2 on VLAN 30. Cool. What did I set my IP for this thing on? So I'm just going to go here, 10.0.10.20. So we're going to try to hit 10.0.10.20. Not sure if everything is working as intended yet. Okay. No. Shoot. I'll be right back. Okay, so I had to troubleshoot it a little bit, but I had Ethernet 2. The device I thought was patched Ethernet 2 wasn't. So anyway, I went down the switch. I patched it through. Right now we don't have it set up as a trunk. We're gonna trunk it in the future, but right now, just to get the access we don't. So cool. So first part, hardware problems fixed. But now I can't communicate with that link, which we can do one of two things. We probably have to do something in Opnsense to patch that through. Okay. Because it is unaware of that interface. But it shouldn't matter because we're using inter VLAN routing. Alright, so we're going to do a SOH or a route. Show IP route. Okay. It says we have a routing option here. Oh wow, the footage is useless. So we ran a few commands and we can see C is directly connected VLAN 30. We're in VLAN 30. We're detected as we're in VLAN 30. So okay, but I can't actually ping that VLAN. So I'm missing something here. Let's see, we have VLAN 10 unrestricted VLAN 30 server. And eventually, yeah, I'm going to push that to VLAN 100 trunk and then tag the traffic within all that. Tag the traffic within Proxmox so everything works. So that's why I didn't do that yet, just to get connected. But interface VLAN 30 is 10.0.10.1. 10.0.10.1 from from source. I'm going to do 10.0.2.1. Okay, actually, that makes sense. So I should be able to ping 10.0.10.1 from here. Okay, so now I'm actually communicating with that gateway. So now I should be able to do .20, which is what I set. Okay, I am now able, from my current VLAN, able to hit my Opnsense, able to hit Proxmox. So, with that being said, it said it was running on port 8006 on 10.0.10.20. I should be able to hit that with the web browser. We verified we have connectivity to that VLAN with the current VLAN I'm in because I have no access or no firewall rules. Anyway, so we can ping, but we can't do anything farther than ping. 10.0.30.20. And let's go back, and you can see this is 10.0. Oh, wow. 10.0.10.20. I said that being on VLAN 30 is screwing with me. So after I enter 10.0.10.20, I'm able to hit the web UI, and I can see this Proxmox environment. So I'm going to do root me, and then put my password. Okay, so you go into interfaces, assignments, VLAN. We are going to create VLAN.0.30. And this is going to be on IGB1 LAN. VLAN tag is going to be 30. Okay, we're just going to leave it. The priority is 0. But we're going to go in and eventually set some prioritizations. So VLAN 0.30. Okay, so we're going to apply that change. Now we're going to click interfaces, assignments, and I can see VLAN 30. And this, I'm just going to add this description, VLAN 30. Here, we're going to click add. Cool. And now we can enable the interface. This is going to be static IPv4. Don't care about that. And we're going to give this an IP address of 10.0.2.10.1. No, we .2 because this, and then we're going to do /31, and that should be good. And this should get me into the internet. So we're going to go back into my terminal here, and I'm going to ping www.google.com, and we'll do 8.8.8.8 because now we have to probably play with DNS. Awesome. So I have a misconfiguration here. We're just going to set this to /24 because that's what the network is. Plot changes. Prevent accident removal. That's fine. Static. So we have interface VLAN 30. But now we should be good for firewall rules, but we'll check. Our DNS server is going to be 10.0.1.1. I don't know what we set in this IP. Add. Okay. We only have NIC 0 up, and it does not give me what its IP address is. And the DNS. Oh, it's VMBR 0. Okay. Okay, so that's 10.0.1.1. That name server is right, but can I ping 10.0.1.1? I cannot. Ping might be disabled. Can I curl https://10.0.1.1? And I will need the K because there's no certificate. And I can't. So, therein lies the problem. I am not getting traffic through. So let's do a, what is it called? What is the command called? I forget. I need to do a trace route on 10.0.1.1. And ICMP may hurt me here. So I think from the switch side of things, we're okay. So we responded on 10.0.1, but 10.0.1 did not go through any farther. So we're hitting the switch, and that's it. So let's go ahead and fix that. Maybe. We're hitting the switch. Okay, and we're not going past the switch. Interface 48, as you can see, switch port trunk allowed VLANs, and that 30 is not in my fucking allowed VLANs. Oh, sorry, 30 is not in my allowed VLANs. There is my problem. So, well, there is a problem at least. So we're going to do config t int VLAN 30. No, int VLAN, what is my trunk port? Int VLAN 100. Oh, actually, that's just on the Ethernet 48. So int Ethernet 48, switch port trunk allowed VLANs, and we're going to add comma 30, comma 100, bam. Okay, exit, and okay, so we want to run a copy run start there, because now oh, I might not get there still. Okay, I can ping 10.1.1 now, so I can ping my default gateway. So I should be able to trace route through. So the trunk wasn't allowing that VLAN to go through. This trace route isn't that great of a test though. Okay, like I said, now we're gonna do thing 8.8.8.8. Oh, now I'm hitting the internet. Let's go! And now we're gonna run an update. So apt update. Cool. Okay, so that is fun. I'm getting an unauthorized IP. And that's probably because I'm not registered. Okay, so when we ran our update, it looks like it's trying to pull from Proxmox's paid servers, and we need to make sure we're pulling from the free stuff, because I mean we don't need to pay for Proxmox. It's open source, kind of open source, I guess. So yeah, open source with a license for like different use cases, I guess. But you get everything with Proxmox in the free version. So let's go ahead and figure that out. We're going to want to go ahead and, since we're getting this unauthorized for the Ceph, and so these enterprise packages are complaining. Makes sense. So it looks like we have to go into the package manager and set it to use the free ones. So let's go ahead and figure out how I would do that. And I will, after I figure it out, I'll come back and make that change. All right, so now we're going to go into Proxmox, and then I'm going to click on my node. This is just the UI, hit repositories. You see these two enterprises ones. We're going to disable and disable. Okay, now we're going to hit add. And then we're going to add no subscription. Cool. So we go ahead and add no subscription. And I'm going to click add. Cool. So now I get updates. Now I'm getting updates, but I'm not getting the paid updates. So I forgot, we have to also add this Ceph squad no subscription as well, but that's all right. I just added it. Cool. Now I can go ahead and run apt update and see if it pulls everything I need. Now I can do apt upgrade. Now that I grabbed everything I can upgrade, and I'm going to go ahead and hit yes. And cool. This is putting my Proxmox cluster up to date. And that's what we want. And we got to set up firewall rules, so only Proxmox I can communicate outward, and then if I have different services I want to communicate inward, I can only communicate inward on different on certain services, but we'll be doing that and adding it to the Opnsense Chronicles video. So cool. When this is done, we'll come back and finish configuring Proxmox. Okay, now my Proxmox cluster is updated, so that's awesome. And I've successfully set up my first Proxmox node. So I'm going to go ahead and do that on my other server and then cluster them together. Okay, so I went ahead and provisioned my second Proxmox node, and what we're going to do here is we're going to cluster these guys together. So I'm going to click on this data center icon in the GUI and cluster. I'm going to create a cluster. I'm going to call this Proxmox-C1. Okay. And we're going to do this. Okay, I went ahead and created a cluster. I'm going to hit download. Oh, that just downloads not much. Okay, it says task OK. And then I'm going to hit join information, and I'm going to copy information, go into Proxmox cluster, my Proxmox second node. I'm going to go under cluster, create cluster, not create cluster, I want to join cluster, and I'm going to paste this in, and I'm going to type in the root password of the other host. Sorry, I typed it in wrong. Okay, and no cluster network passed explicitly. Oh, I got permission denied. Invalid. This is login succeeded. Check cluster API join version. Cluster join. Alright, well, let's see. I'm getting multiple different errors, so let's see if I can connect to it. So I'm gonna. This is my Proxmox C1, and I want to see if I can ping 10.0 to 10.0 10.21. Okay, that's my local host, so that's working. And now I want to try 20. I can ping 10.0 10. I can ping 20. Okay, so. And it sees the node here. Oh, etc PVE. Okay, it says this does not exist. So both of these hosts are showing up though. Is this just a red herring? We're going to go ahead and refresh this page. Shows both hosts. So I don't know if that was a red herring or not. Let's go under data center cluster. It shows them both. ID2. So it shows them both here. So if you experience that it may be a red herring, just refresh the page and see if it's good. But you can see I have Proxmox C1. Both nodes are attached to the cluster. I can see they're both online. Now I have 104 cores and 220 gigs of RAM in this beast, and we can do a lot of awesome shit with this homelab setup.